Hello and welcome. My name's Chris Can from Aspermont, and with me I have investing legend Rick Rule from Rule Investment Media. Rick's just signed on to partner with Aspermont across the Mining Journal and Mining News Select Finance Series events, and of course the Rule Symposium out of Florida. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you, Chris. Delighted to be with you. Delighted to be partnering with you too.
Rick, talk us through the motivation for that partnership and why you've decided to work with Aspermont across these events.
Well, I've been a mining journal reader for a very long time. I suspect going on 40 years. I note too that publication has an august history, something like 190 years of publication. I think it goes without saying that the Mining Journal is a core franchise in the mining business. And your group has been promoting mostly industry conferences, but industry and perhaps institutional finance conferences for a very long time, too. I've been on the other side of the page with retail conferences. Your 20,000 subscribers at the industry level through the Mining Journal, and my 80,000 retail subscribers through Rule Investment Media, I think have absolutely complementary needs. I note too that I am and have been for a substantial period of time an Aspermont shareholder. I understand something about the business of providing information around an industry like mining. It's a very good business. It's treated me very well. And being able to partner with what I think is the single finest brand in mining and mining investment information is an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. I have been a beneficiary of conferences for a very long time, both as a presenter and as an attendee. And I've always felt that attending a conference, if I got two or three ideas that were different than my ideas, if my perception was changed or enhanced in some way, and particularly if I got one investment idea, that the conference paid for itself in spades. And the idea of being able to participate in a conference with a partner that brings the franchise that Aspermont does and the institutional knowledge that Aspermont does gives me real confidence that my attendees will benefit and that my network will benefit by pioneering and partnering with your organization.
So, is that the role that you see these conferences as playing for the investment community and the resources sector as a stimulating grounds for new ideas and creative investive thinking?
I absolutely do. Chris, when you go to these conferences, one of the things that you note isn't merely the wisdom that comes from the dais, but the wisdom that exists in the crowd. At my conference, you have 400 or 500 high net worth people there. And the idea that all the good ideas, that all the good intelligence comes from the dais down to the crowd is silly. There's a whole bunch that comes back the other way. There's a whole bunch of discussions that take place around the water cooler or perhaps at the bar. And while some of that is silly, some of that is brilliant too. I had an attendee that remarked at my conference that being able to follow Ross Beatty and Robert Friedland around the exhibit floor and see what booths they stopped at and what questions they asked was worth more than the cost of admission. And I really, truly look forward to partnering with Aspermont in terms of putting on conferences where more living, breathing retail investors have the opportunity to walk through the exhibit hall and follow absolute living legends once they're off the stage, once they're acting in their own interest, once they're acting as information consumers too. I can't wait to do this, Chris.
So we have talked about privately the idea of a Legends panel, which is frankly mouth-watering, Rick, and hopefully that will happen for us in London with some of these names that you're talking about now. One of the other things that you'll be doing for us is presenting on stage live. And one of the things that people want to understand from someone like yourself is how you see the markets shaping up this year for resources. It's been a slowish start. What are your expectations?
I think we're going to have a good but not a great year this year. On the downside, that could be punctuated by a global recession. If that happened, we'd have a very bad year. I suspect that U.S. interest rates will stay relatively high, which means that demand for gold, as an example, will be constrained. I think this is a very, very, very good year to be adding to positions. that one intends to harvest 3 years from now and 5 years from now. I think that one of the things that I will bring to the conferences from the dais is simply 50 years of investing experience. I think that I can help people change their perception in terms of their time preference. I think that I can help people favor arithmetic in their investment decisions over narrative. And I look forward to tapping into the 190 years of contained perspective that Aspermont enjoys through the Mining Journal and through your other activities.
Rick, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you live on stage throughout the year.
Thank you.